Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good Monday evening, everybody on twitch.tv/2MB Studios. You're right here at 7 p.m. on Monday, which means it's time to play a little game show we call That Sounds Right. Welcome. Thanks for being here. I'm your host, of course, Misinformation, and with me, as always, is Will. Will, welcome to the show.
The truth shall set you free, Misinformation. Let me tell you what. Tonight's going to be the night where the truth reigns supreme and all the people who got the right answers get the points they deserve in life.
Wow. Will, I love your energy tonight. I love the eternal optimism that you hit the ground with in this show. Because as you know, and as our audience knows, on this show, I give out points. And I don't give out points for correct answers. I give out points that I think sound right. But you come in here every week with so much hope.
Sometimes they are one and the same, Misinformation. And that's the time where Will actually gets his wings.
Will, I love you. The chat loves you on this show. And even though you don't give out the points here, I love to hear all that you have to share, including that beautiful creature. Oh, thanks for being here, everybody. We have 3 great contestants here tonight, and these contestants are not just any old contestants. No. These folks are all people who have won this show before, meaning they have all already graduated from 2MB University with their undergraduate degrees. And tonight will be competing for the highest honor that we have available here at 2MB University so far, which is, of course, the master's degree. So with us here tonight, competing for his master's, we have BJ. Hello, BJ.
Hello, I'm ready to matriculate.
Wow, I'm so happy to hear it, BJ. And as soon as I learn what that word means, I hope to help you along the way. We've got Jamie. Jamie here competing for her master's degree. Hello, Jamie.
Hello, I am here to dominate.
Wow. I can't wait to see how this one turns out. I'm feeling the competitive energy already. And last but not least yet, of course, we have our third contestant also competing for their master's degree. We have Jake. Jake, welcome to the show.
Hi, I found myself adrift in the public sector and would love to fill that hole in my heart in academia.
Wow. Incredible. I love hearing that you all have your reasons to be here tonight. BJ, of course, to matriculate, Jamie to dominate, and Jake, of course, to just find their way in the world.
Yeah,
so let's without further ado, just dive right into our first question. I'm going to be asking a question. Each of the contestants will be giving an answer. And of course, only one of these answers will be correct. I have no idea which. And I'm going to see which one I think sounds the most right. The first question is, what competitive sport gave rise to the Solomon technique? And what is the technique used for? All right, so what we're looking for here is the competitive sport and what this technique is used for, the Solomon technique. BJ, I'd like your answer first, please.
Oh, everyone knows the Solomon technique. This is from the vert ramp at the skate competition in the Olympics. And actually, the Solomon technique is a way that you can fall down. You've seen them. Skaters go up and down, and they have to have a real good pratfall. Right?
Yes.
And the Solomon technique is how they get on their knees without breaking anything or hurting themselves or anything like that. Easy.
That makes sense. BJ. I do see those skaters fall and get up just as gracefully and very quickly, I might add.
That's technique.
That's perhaps the Solomon technique. Jamie, what is your answer?
So this refers to sheep herding contests. So much like how Solomon challenged those 2 moms, oh, which one's your child? I'll split it in half. This gets the 2 pigs to come in and just split the little sheep herd into 2. And that's your little Solomon pig sheep herding technique.
So this is a sport. This is a technique used not in a sport, but in or perhaps the sport of
sheep herding. Is what I'm saying.
I wasn't aware that was a competitive sport.
It's a competitive sport if you're a pig, is what I'm telling you.
Jamie, I believe it. Both of these answers so far sound very right. Jake, let's hear your answer.
Yeah, so the Solomon technique is a technique in competitive hot dog eating that was invented by Takeru Kobayashi. The Solomon method involves splitting the hot dog in buns in half before eating them, which allows them to more easily form to the inside of the throat, so the throat can be used as a conveyor belt for the hot dog. Yeah, it's gross, but it's true.
Okay, Jake, hold on. Back up for a second. I just have to clarify. I want to make sure I understand.
Mm-hmm.
The hot dog gets cut in half. Does it get cut in half like that?
And it is like King Solomon.
It gets cut in half the hot dog way.
Yeah, the
not
hot dog
the
way. So
hamburger
it makes
way.
it, you're sort of butterflying the hot dog, and it's all, slide it in there. Slide it down.
Okay.
Hey, look, Kobayashi's he's undefeated. He's a champion in his field.
Sure. Okay. All right. Listen, 3 great answers here. All 3 definitely sports. Hot dog eating,
They're all
sheep
sports.
herding, and ice skating. I have to say the one that sounds the most like a sport to me is ice skating. I've never seen competitive sheep herding, and I've also never seen people split the hot dogs in half first. I see Jake is getting some support in the audience, but I'm going to go with my gut feeling here, which is BJ's answer for the Solomon technique in skating. To give out the first set of points here to BJ. It sounds the most sporty, and also I've seen it happen.
Well, actually, here, that is incorrect. Unfortunately, it was splitting hot dogs in half. Jake's answer. They were correct on that one.
Splitting hot dogs in half the lengthwise way, for real?
Yep. Yeah, it's true.
Wow.
I just want to throw out that in sheep herding, which is a sport, it's usually dogs. It's only pigs in the movie Babe.
Hey,
It's just a movie about pigs breaking into the
Babe
world.
was the progenitor of pig sheep herder. Okay, there's a whole line.
Wow.
It's a whole movie about how it's not usually pigs.
Wow, we're using so many big words here tonight already. I'm really excited to hear what we have in store. Let's move to our second question, which is, how do male Adelie penguins court their female suitors? All right, we're looking for the way that male Adelie penguins court their female suitors. Very interesting. Jamie, let's hear from you first.
So actually, if you're familiar with the movie Happy Feet, it took some inspiration from this, which is they do a little tap, tap, tap with their webbed feet. And it's just like both the rhythm and like the right vibrations on ice is what gets that female Adelie penguin really going.
Okay, Jamie, you seem to be taking a lot of inspiration from films. I love the connection,
Specifically George Miller.
Yeah, all George Miller so far.
Okay, Jamie, whatever works for you. Okay, Jake, let's go to you. Let's hear your answer.
Yeah, okay, so male Adelie penguins, they actually form a hunting party, which will go off and attempt to kill a leopard seal. Now, they're never successful because leopard seals are very dangerous, but the ones that make it back from the hunt are considered viable mates, just merely because they survived. The others are eaten.
They're not hunting the seal.
They're trying to kill the seal.
They're trying to kill the seal?
Win. They never get it. I mean, presumably they think they can bring back a trophy and win a mate, but it doesn't work. Never.
So it's never happened yet.
Well, as far as we know.
As far as we know.
Yeah.
We haven't observed it,
No.
but that seems to be the goal. I mean, if I were a female penguin, I sure would be impressed by that.
Yeah.
I cannot deny.
No, it would be really impressive.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, other Dave Thomas in the chat. Penguins are pretty dumb. Another expert opinion from another graduate of 2MB University. BJ, let's hear your answer.
Look, unlike what other Dave Thomas said, penguins, they're just like you and me, right? You have yourself a partner. You decide you want to give your whole life to them. What do? You go, you buy yourself a ring. You go and you propose to them. Penguins, they don't have the option of finding rings. So what do? They find the nicest pebble and they bring it to their female counterpart and they're like, hey, you see this? You see this rock? Come on, rock with me. And they do that. Pebbles are big in penguin society. That's true.
BJ, aren't the pebbles kind of sort of everywhere?
You would think they're everywhere, but because they're such a hot commodity, there's so much demand for it, and they're not everywhere. They're actually very rare. Because they build their houses from it, they do other things with it. Come on.
There's sort of a
Penguins
penguin.
went to Jared.
There's
really
a penguin
like-
De Beers that's creating scarcity amongst the
I like
the
that
pebbles.
BJ scenario also implies there's like a penguin economics like situation
There's
going
supply
on.
and demand happening.
Yeah, they get a full GDP.
All right.
Domestic pebble.
Why are you laughing? I am right.
You know, BJ and Jake, I love your stories, but, you know, Jamie had a visual aid. This visual, of course, is not with us now, but we know for anyone who's seen the movie Happy Feet, you've had the visual aid. I have it in my mind's eye. That's an easy point to Jamie for this round. For the dancing penguin, slapping the feet. We've all seen the movie. We know it's possible.
Oh, no.
Will actually here. It was BJ. It was the pebbles. Yeah, gross domestic pebble.
Gross domestic.
The gross
It's a
domestic.
true thing. They're just like us.
Do the penguins really say "Let's rock"? You know, impressive of those penguins. Good for them. I hope they all achieve their dreams. Once again, from other Dave Thomas in the chat, penguins are so dumb. Let's go to question 3 in round 1, which is, I'm really interested in this question. It is, in Japan, what does the arrival of Matthew Perry mean? In quotes, the arrival of Matthew Perry, unquote. What does that mean when someone in Japan says the arrival of Matthew Perry? Jake, I'm going to go to you first.
Yeah, it's a holiday celebrating the arrival of friends on streaming services. It's the arrival of Matthew Perry. They actually only got him last year, just because of corporate trademark laws and streaming rights. Japan's been itching to get their fingers on Matty P for years, and they simply couldn't. And the arrival of Matty P's just been a big deal, really taking Japan by storm.
I can imagine that's a really exciting
They
occasion.
hate Dave Schwimmer, though.
Okay.
Because they all have swimmers here.
They all have Schwimmers here, and they hate him. Not fans.
Okay. So Jake, you're telling me that it's become a holiday since last year?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
March 1st.
Got it.
March 1st, we just celebrated the first one just last month. It was huge.
Understood.
Yeah.
The arrival of Matthew Perry makes sense. A holiday in Japan. BJ, please tell me your answer.
You know, Jake's answer was interesting. You know, you go into the friends room, whatever, but it's actually not true. The arrival of Matthew Perry, similar to The Good Wife or The Good Fight, it's when you're trying to introduce new, fresh blood and conflict into a situation. That's right. You're in Japan. Things are going nice. You have universal health care and stuff. You need something to spice it up. Something bad is going to happen. That's the arrival of Matthew Perry. Similar to The Good Wife and The Good Fight, that you can watch now on Paramount Plus or Paramount whatever.
I'm sorry.
Whatever.
On Paramount Plus or Paramount whatever.
I can't wait for
I'm-
some Paramount whatever.
I've been going on 2MB Studios and just selling, Paramount properties.
I like that you
That's a good
dunked
business
on my
plan.
thing, but yours is also a Matthew Perry TV show. How dare you?
So it's
But it's not Friends.
so I'm sorry, BJ. So this is a different TV show,
Right.
and it's called The Arrival of Matthew Perry.
No, this is similar to what happened in The Good Wife and in The Good Fight. They wanted to introduce some fresh blood into the conflict of the show. So who arrived? Matthew Perry. This is a deep dive into Paramount Plus properties.
I understand. So in Japan, if you say the arrival of Matthew Perry, it means like something bad is about to happen.
Exactly, like Godzilla or something.
I see. So the TV shows were examples of if someone. So, for instance, if Godzilla was on the way, they might say, "Oh, this is about to be the arrival of Matthew Perry."
Japan had no other examples of bad things arriving on their shores. It's never happened to them. They have no historical context for that.
Never.
Okay, great. Good. Makes sense. Jamie, let's hear your answer. What does the arrival of Matthew Perry mean in Japan?
So Jake and BJ led some almost close but definitely wrong breadcrumbs because it's not Matthew Perry from Friends. It is Commodore Matthew Perry, who was the first one to step on Japanese shores being like, hey, guess what? Time to trade with America. And it's actually a euphemism for period because it was an unwelcome arrival.
So when someone gets their period in Japan, they call it the arrival of Matthew Perry.
No, we say like a visit from Aunt Flo, and they say the arrival of Matthew Perry.
Okay. All right. So let me get this straight. My choices here are either it is a celebration of Friends becoming available to stream in Japan. It means something bad is about to happen because of examples of when Matthew Perry came on other TV shows, or it is a euphemism for when someone gets their period. Yep. Any of these could be right.
They kind of built on each other.
Yeah.
They did. I think I'm going to go with Jamie's. I have to go with Jamie's. Jamie, you have a lot of support in the chat. It makes a lot of sense. And I like that it's not about Matthew Perry from all of the television shows that we named. It is just someone else from history.
Facts.
Yeah, do we get one? It sounded right, and it turns out it was right, which puts you in the lead so far. You are bringing up the lead here with 10 points so far. Is there anything that you want to let the audience know about right now?
Yeah, sure. You can check out my show on fourth Sundays at 3 p.m. It's Cook It Right. I'm attempting to teach my friend Colin how to cook, but he keeps using a bread knife, and he thought powdered sugar and cane sugar were the same thing. So that's what we're working with. That's the level of cooking expertise I'm trying to bring us up from.
Yeah,
but it's
the sugar mix up was extremely that was hard for me to see, and that's coming from me, misinformation. It's a great show. Make sure to tune into that one, folks. We're gonna head right on down to round two, question 1, which is, why is Tirpitz the pig famous enough to have her own Wikipedia? Of course, we all know Tirpitz the famous pig has her own Wikipedia. Why? How'd she get that famous? BJ, let us know.
Well, Tirpitz the pig. Wow. What a fantastic and ultimate character. Why is Tirpitz the pig famous enough to get her own Wikipedia? Obvious. Prevented the collapse of the German economy. Now, hear me off. Why would a pig be related to the German economy? Easy. It said, don't go into austerity, continue pumping programs into the public sector, into schools, hospitals, infrastructure. Hey, and even small businesses, like pig businesses, like, slaughterings of pigs. I don't want to get too deep into it, but you get it.
I see. So Tirpitz, the famous pig, convinced. What was it? Germany?
Yes, Angela Merkel actually went to a farm and was like, "We gotta get rid of these," and then Tirpitz was like, "Don't do it. Invest in us." Invest in us. And our heart grew 3 sizes.
Oh my gosh. So Tirpitz showed Merkel, all the potential there is in the small pig business. Of course, being the business is small, the pigs, of course, are quite large. Thank you, BJ, for that answer. Jamie, who is Tirpitz the pig?
Tirpitz is a German pig, but she was a German pig on a German warship who was supposed to be dinner until the ship sank, and they didn't bother to save her, but she swam to the nearest British ship and became their best friend, pal, and mascot.
Okay, so Jamie, your answer is they were going to eat this pig for dinner on a German ship. The ship sank. Tirpitz the pig swam to a British ship and said, "Hello, my name is Tirpitz. I will be your best friend, and then please write a Wikipedia page about me." Makes sense to me. Jake, what's your answer?
Well, it's just funny that George Miller continues to be relevant on this show tonight. But Tirpitz the pig is actually the pig that Babe is based on. But George Miller, being a savvy filmmaker, realized that Tirpitz is a terrible name that doesn't sound British enough, and that it wasn't, like, they focus grouped it with kids, and kids were like, get that pig out of here. I hate it. I hate Tirpitz, and I hope he fails. I hope he never becomes a sheep pig. Kids hated him. And so they threw out the name Tirpitz, they renamed him Babe. And Babe's beloved. So George Miller was right, but Tirpitz is relegated to Wikipedia, while Babe, fame and stardom.
Famous. I wouldn't even need to Wikipedia Babe. I, of course, know that pig.
Babe's
so,
famous pig.
Jake, they couldn't just change the name of the pig. They needed to swap out the whole...
No, they changed the name of the pig. I mean, Tirpitz was not a show pig. Tirpitz could not be in
Tirpitz was not an actor.
No, Tirpitz wasn't an actor. I mean, Tirpitz was just getting on camera shitting immediately, every single time. Couldn't get a clean shot. And they had to get Babe in there.
But if you want the newer,
you had to get a real professional. You can't just pick a Tirpitz off the street.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen. Mixed feelings in the chat about some of these answers, but I gotta go with Jake on this one. I'm agreeing with Endorphin 1880. Endorphin 1880. I'm giving Jake 5 points for a correct sounding answer. Tirpitz, the famous almost Babe, but kids hated Tirpitz.
Kids hated Tirpitz.
Just shitting everywhere. That is incorrect, unfortunately. Jamie was right. Yeah, Jamie.
It was the
swimming pig. Yeah. Swimming pig.
Oh, the chat's getting mean. The chat's getting mean to me. Let's move right along. That's what happens. The question 2 of round 2 is, why is the water in Senegal's Lake Redba pink? Why is the water pink in that lake? Senegal's Lake Redba. Why is it pink? Let's go to Jamie first.
So Himalayan salt is pink AF. So someone was trying to transport it, and then they just overturned a whole dang shipment into this lake, like truly an absurd amount of Himalayan salt. And they just forever altered the chemistry of the lake into pinkness.
That sounds like an absolute natural disaster. Yeah. All right. Great. Thank you, Jamie. Jake, let's go to you.
Yeah. So the water in what was the name of the lake?
It's at the bottom of your screen there. Lake Redba.
Lake Redba. Thank you. I was trying to call it Lake Redbath because it's pink.
That's probably what it might be known as.
Lake Redba. So Lake Redba is pink because of algal blooms native to Senegal. And they actually carry really impressive health properties in that it's super poisonous and you can't drink it. It'll kill you.
It's super. The algae blooms are poisonous.
Yeah, the algal blooms are highly poisonous, which is a really interesting health property.
Well, Tina Talon, don't speak too soon. That was a really convincing answer. Tina Talon in the chat, actually, algae sounds right. So, you never know. But BJ, before I make a decision, algal, which is an impressive word. I assume that means related to algae. Let's go ahead and head to BJ. BJ, what's your answer?
Well, here's the thing. Jake is saying that the algae in there is poisonous. I'm telling you it's not poisonous. I'm just going to tell you that lake has a lot of salt in it. Maybe not Himalayan salt, some Senegalese salt, but there's a certain type of algae that just releases red pigment because it's the only thing that can survive in there. And it gets pink because of that. It releases that pigment so it can get some energy. You know what I mean? These algae, they're in there. They're trying to get some energy. They're making things pink. Great for Instagram.
Wow. All right. So let me just get this straight. Jamie's answer is salt.
Himalayan salt.
Thank you, Jamie. Jamie's answer is salt. Jake's answer is algae. BJ's answer their answer is poisonous algae blooms. BJ's answer is the salt makes the algae do that. So, listen, I could be...
But BJ only knows the name of the lake because I reminded him.
Listen, I could go with Jamie or I could go with Jake, but wouldn't I be silly if I were not taking advantage of the answer that incorporates both answers previous? I'm going to give 5 points to BJ for an answer that encompasses everybody's previous answers. That's 5 points to BJ for salt and algae.
And you'd be correct, misinformation. Way to go.
Wow. Way to go, everybody, because that answer was really a team effort.
Very big team effort. Unfortunately, BJ was right for you, the rest of you, so he gets those 5 points.
He gets those 5 points. Congratulations, BJ. And congratulations to me in the chat for maybe getting a little less bullied from here on out for that correct choice that I just made. Let's move on to question 3 in round 2, which is the ancient North African city of Cyrene built its economy around a product that was so popular, its source was driven to extinction, causing the city to collapse. What was that product? One more time, we're looking at an ancient North African city, Cyrene, built its whole economy around this one product, so popular, driven to extinction, whole city collapses. What's the product? Jake, I'm going to go to you first.
Yeah, so the product was the resin of a plant called silphium, also known as laser, which is a plant which was used for numerous healing purposes back in ancient times, but notably was a natural contraceptive. And the ancient world just loved doing it, just as much as we do. And they drove silphium to extinction and no longer exists. In fact, nobody knows exactly what kind of plant it was.
Jake, this was it's a plant that was it was a natural it was a natural birth control method.
Silphium, yes.
Silphium, and the whole economy was built around this.
I was like their cash
tool.
crop. It didn't grow in many places. It grew in a specific basin. Yes.
It's a pretty special plant.
It's a special plant.
Jake, thank you for that answer. BJ, let's go to you.
Oh, it's all about silk in Cyrene. Yup, they were producing so much silk, creating so much garments, selling it out to the different cities that are around them, up and down the Nile, even into Europe, down to the sub-Saharan areas, and they were just pulling out those silkworms, but a little bit too much. A little bit too much. You can't be milking silkworms too much like that. You got to make sure to, keep them under wraps. So after a while, had a bunch of silk stuff, but then it all went under.
It all went under because silkworms went
They kind of just went on strike. They were like, nah, we're not doing this anymore. We want workers' rights. And by strike, I mean they died.
They died, of course. That's what happens when silkworms go on strike. Don't milk that silk. I believe that was their strike slogan. Thank you, Tina Talon. 1 point to Tina Talon in the chat. Great. Jamie, let's hear your answer.
Sure. So you notice Cyrene has a lot of similarities linguistically with Cygnus, which is the Latin name for swan. So they were really big on swans, and specifically, like, you know how we eat foie gras now? Well, before in Cyrene, they ate like swan foie gras, and we'll never know what that tastes like because they ate that to the ground. They killed those swans.
And that's why today swans are.
No, the specific Cyrene swan. We'll never know what that swan tastes like.
Right.
Or
We will never
liver.
know what that Cyrene swan tasted like.
Nope.
So the product is either swan foie gras, silk, or a special birth control plant. You know, this is tough. I don't think it's Jamie's. Jamie, I'll say that right off the bat. The swan foie gras.
Swagwa.
Okay. You know, I haven't gone with the chat so far tonight. Jake is getting a ton of support in the chat. So Jake, I'm going to give you 5 points for all this chat support for this. It's you also, I believe, Jake, are the only one who had an extinction in your answer, which I believe is part of the question. Now that I'm thinking about it, that was a good choice, chat. Good call on that part. That does sound right to me.
I said the swans were gone.
Going on
sorry.
strike is an extinction of a certain type.
Yep. That's true, BJ. It is an extinction of a certain type.
And Jake is correct. Yes.
Well done. Well done, chat. You know, and it sounded right. And that's what I love about it. It was right. That's what Will actually loves about it. That was the end of round 2. We have one more round of these questions left before our bonus lightning fire round. The name gets longer every session, but let's go to BJ. BJ, you had a pretty strong lead, and you know it's all tied up now, so they're right up on you. What do you got to say? What do you want to tell the audience?
Well, in the third round, I'm going to win every single question. But if you want to get more of me, seeing me do weird, different stuff on the first and third Friday. Every month, I host a show called Whatever It Takes. It's a comedy trivia game show. We have 2 comedians come in. We get them to do trivia. Also, we get them to do ridiculous challenges. On one of our episodes, we made someone do the entire Canadian national anthem in the style of Celine Dion. It was great. We had someone try and call one of their family members and say on camera that I love you and I think you're going to win, and they couldn't do it. So it runs the gambit.
No. Wow.
But we love them. We love them on Whatever It Takes. 8 p.m., first and third Fridays, right here on 2MB Studios.
Awesome.
Also, you can follow me on social media, right there, at Jeranyama.
Definitely do it. Thank you, BJ. I love Whatever It Takes. I love to watch. It's such a fun show. Let's head on down to round 3, folks. Round 3, question 1 is, on what food-based platform did Clint Eastwood successfully run for mayor of Carmel, California? Clint Eastwood, as we all know, of course, successfully ran for mayor of this Californian town. On a food-based platform. What was that platform? BJ, we are coming to you first.
Well, everyone knows that Clint Eastwood himself is a Republican, and he decided no more taxes on our beef exports. Beef, chicken, turkeys in Carmel, California, no more taxes. You're going to send it out. We're going to bring up the economy, apparently. That's what he said. And then he became mayor.
Good, you know, that sounds like a good way to get votes by not taxing beef and its friends, you know?
In the 1980s, that's exactly what you want to do. It was Reagan's America, baby.
Yeah, all that beef. People were clamoring for the beef. Where's the beef? Around same time period, probably. In Carmel is the answer. Jamie, what's your answer?
It was not beef. It was ice cream, which was banned in Carmel since the 1920s because of their anti-business laws. They did not want the ice cream fast food dripping all over their streets, making them gooey. So he was like, F that noise. I just want to eat ice cream in my streets. And he became mayor.
Jamie, I just want to clarify. Jamie, did Clint Eastwood run for mayor specifically because he wanted to see the return of ice cream?
Yeah. I mean, also, I guess because it was an anti-business law, but primarily it was just that he wanted to eat ice cream on his street.
Wow. Great, thank you.
Eastwood. That's almost a pun, Dave.
So
Almost.
close.
Oh man.
All right, Jake, let's hear your platform, or your version of Clint Eastwood's platform.
It was neither beef nor ice cream. Clint Eastwood was a movie star, and he needed to prove that he was a man of the people. So he declared himself the boss of sauce, and he got himself a food truck, and he would drive around to small neighborhoods on the corner, and he would set up in his truck, and he would serve his family's famous sauce recipe, like a home-cooked meal. He would simmer it in the morning, and in the afternoon, he would put that ragu on some penne, and he would hand it out to constituents, and it worked. Constituents. Sorry, look. You can't penalize me for mispronouncing constituents. That has nothing to do with this.
I would never do that, Jake.
You can't. Anyways, it absolutely won over. It was a grassroots campaign. He showed everyone that he was a home cooking guy.
Jake, did Clint Eastwood do this every day?
Oh, well, he did it on the weekends. God.
Okay. Because he had a campaign to run.
Yeah, he had a campaign to run.
I can imagine that if you're a big Hollywood guy like Clint Eastwood, you really need to show people that you're a man of the people, exactly. A boss of sauce.
The boss of sauce.
I do want to point out the chat has pointed out constituents is clearly the pun that's right there.
Yes, there we go. There it is.
Congratulations, Dave, you got it in too.
Point to Dave Thomas in the chat. Okay, let's just summarize here. So BJ's answer is no beef tax, no tax on beef. Jamie's answer is let's bring back the ice cream that was banned for years in this town. And Jake's answer is Clint Eastwood is the boss of sauce.
It's funny, but it's true. History is hilarious.
Clint Eastwood is the boss of sauce. Yeah, well, listen, history has to be hilarious because all three of these answers are absolutely ridiculous. But only one of them can truly sound right. Either it's reinstating ice cream, no tax on beef, or Clint Eastwood riding around in a food truck called the Boss of Sauce. I keep saying it because I want that to be the right one. I really want that. I'm going to go with the most political sounding answer here. I'm going to go BJ on this. No tax on beef. That's a really political answer. Clint Eastwood had to show he was serious, a serious politician. Took away the tax on beef. People loved beef in the 80s. We know this is true. So
if this is Jamie's, I'm going to be upset.
Constituents.
Ice cream was banned in this town. A town named Carmel?
This is the plot of Footloose. This is the plot of Footloose. This can't be real.
Clint Eastwood came and said, hey, we need ice cream back. We can't let them keep us down. And then he played the song
Footloose himself.
Yeah. The local pastor's wife was killed in an ice cream truck accident.
Wow.
It was banned for 80 years until Clint Eastwood came and did a full musical number.
Yeah.
Wow, that's surprising. Jamie, I have to be honest, that answer did not sound right. It really didn't to me. It really didn't sound right to me.
Because I said his platform was F that noise, because I'll admit, that was a modern take.
It's a modern phrase. It wasn't really that. It was more the ban on ice cream that did it for me. BJ took that first round. He called his shot and said he was going to take all three of these points. So let's move on and let's see what happens. The second question in round 3 is which late inventor asked in their will to be buried inside their invention, and what is the invention? This is an inventor that has now passed. I now understand what late inventor means, and I believe it means they are dead. So this inventor died, wanted to be buried inside their invention. What is the invention after all? Jamie, what's the invention?
It's the late, it's the great, it's the badass Nikola Tesla, and he was buried in a Tesla coil because he was like, I just need the world to know I am the most metal inventor of all time. Take that, Edison, you dweebus. He can't bury in a light bulb. That's lame. But he's like, you can bury me in a Tesla coil.
That's a very cool fact, Jamie. Jamie, I like that answer because Tesla seems like a flashy guy. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't met him personally, but that's my feeling. Jake, let's hear your answer. What's the invention?
So the inventor is Frederick Bauer, the founder of Pringles, and he stipulated in his will that his ashes be buried in a Pringles can. And his children, in fact, did it. They acknowledged
they put his ashes into
his last
Pringles
will. They
can?
put his ashes in a Pringles can and they buried it.
A regular sized Pringles can?
Yeah, like not like a comically big one. That would be ghoulish. Like a giant Pringles can with a man in it. No, they burned him and they put him in it.
It must have been a pretty petite guy.
It's ashes. I think you're overestimating how many ashes a person leaves. It's not that much.
How many ashes?
Like a Pringles can worth.
You know, Jake, you might be right. BJ, let's hear your answer.
Hey, an artist, an inventor, a Nazi sympathizer, Walt Disney was all. And so he wanted parts of his bodies to be spread all around.
One of the many clones of Disney hidden in various vaults.
Guys, I need to get through my answer.
BJ, please, BJ. What? So Walt Disney's body.
Look, it's a very funny answer, but it's true. Walt Disney wanted multiple parts of his body, or bodies if you want to think about the alternative universes, but he wanted it to be spread across Walt Disney World in the Disney Vault, and if it would ever expand into the other parks. So you'll see it in London, you'll see it in Paris, you'll see it in Japan and Tokyo, you'll see it wherever there's a Disney property.
BJ.
Look, the man was weird.
I think BJ might be right. Listen.
This information.
I feel like I've heard that before. Is that
I just want to point out Walt Disney World did not exist when Walt Disney was alive.
But Walt Disney World was in concept when he was alive. He wanted to build it, and it was finished when he was dead. But they remembered, and they answered his dying call.
Every time there's a new park, they go and exhume Disney's body, and they chop off a new piece, and they fly it to the new park, and put it underneath whatever Splash Mountain
there's no way
building.
Tokyo Disney agreed to this.
Wait.
They're having Brer Rabbit's holding his dismembered hand. I don't think so.
Was Walt Disney not cryogenically frozen?
Parts of it, and that's how they could go in and sliver it out. But the heart remains. The heart is the key to the soul. It remains. You gotta read the will. Everyone knows this.
No one knows.
Listen, support is all over the place for this in the chat. I just want to say, I see Jamie getting support for Nikola Tesla. I see Jake getting support for their answer of the Pringles can, which... Okay, and BJ also getting support for his answer of Walt Disney's body parts being strewn about the Disney parks and such. Oh boy, it really could be any of these. I'm gonna say it. It could be any of these. Let's go. Oh man, this is the tough one. Let's go with Jake for the Pringles can. That seems the most contained to me. A Pringles can. We're gonna go with the inventor of Pringles being buried inside a Pringles can. That seems cute, like a cute idea.
Misinformation. Once you pop, the fun don't stop. It was Jake. Very decided Pringles can.
Once you pop, the fun don't stop. Thank you, Will.
Thank God they aren't still carving apart Walt Disney every time they make a new park.
I almost went with that one. And
I
it might have
thought
haunted
Jace
me.
was upsetting, and then Peach.
Wow. That was a close one. That was really a close one. Everybody had a lot of support in the chat for that one. Jake, you got 5 points on that. Let's go with our final answer in round 3, which is in the 1960s, McDonald's introduced a truly mind-boggling meatless/vegetarian burger called the Hula Burger. Can you tell us what ingredients/items were in this burger? Okay, this is the 1960s. Very weird for a meatless burger to be introduced in the 1960s. I'm already so intrigued. It's called the Hula Burger. What ingredients were in this burger? Let's go to Jake first. Jake, what were the ingredients in this burger? In the Hula Burger?
Well, the ingredients of the Hula Burger, the reason it's called a Hula Burger is because it is charred grilled, and much like a hula hoop, it's one ring. So it was one big onion ring that was just grilled and then actually served on 2 leaves, like a hula skirt. So it was actually 2 leaves of lettuce, and then in the middle it's just one onion ring.
So it incorporated people like the ideas of both hula hoops and hula skirts.
Exactly, yeah, that's why it's the Hula Burger.
I really like that answer, Jake.
You should see some of the advertisements of Grimace hula-ing a giant onion ring, because they are more sexual than you would think.
I would already think they're pretty sexual, so, I can only imagine.
I mean, you don't think of Grimace being nude, but once you put a grass skirt on him, you're like, what's under there?
That Grimace is nude.
Yeah.
For sure. Jake, thank you. BJ, what's your answer? What's the Hula Burger all about?
Misinformation. McDonald's got nasty with this one. All right? I'm talking, they got a bun. They put in a grilled pineapple and melted cheese. And they said, that's a burger. There you go. McDonald's for you.
A grilled pineapple slice with cheese on it?
That's it. And a bun.
And a bun,
That's
of course.
The hula.
Did they have pineapples in the 1960s? They must have.
They did. They clearly did not have vegetarianism because they did not know what was happening there.
Could be true. Could be true, BJ. Jamie, let's hear your answer.
So BJ's right. That was an appeal to the Hawaiian aesthetic and the Hawaiian market, but the 60s was known for some gross ass foods. It was actually a pineapple and some tofu in aspic, which was this weird, stupid jelly that they all ate at the time. And they were like, that's the burger. That's your Hula Burger.
What? Jamie, jelly? Aspic?
Yeah. It was it's non-sweet Jello. It is disgusting. There's a reason we don't eat it anymore, but they did in the 60s.
Okay. Let's just review these answers. Jake's answer is 1 onion ring on lettuce is the Hula Burger, and Jake, you also had the fun detail about Grimace hula hooping. True. And Dorf in 1880, none of these sound right. Once again, BJ's answer is a slice of pineapple and cheddar cheese. Did you say cheddar? Did I add that in? Was that just a good choice on my part?
It was melted cheese on grilled pineapple.
Melted cheese on grilled pineapple on a bun. And Jamie's answer is pineapple, tofu, and also aspic, an unsweet jelly. I hate all these answers. I'm not loving them.
Burger.
I'm gonna listen. I don't think an onion ring on lettuce is a whole burger. And
neither did vegetarians.
I hate the idea of this unsweetened jelly. I need to give BJ 5 points again. I have to give it to BJ for just pineapple and cheese. I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna keep it simple with just pineapple and cheese on a bun. The Hula Burger, vegetarian Hawaiian burger.
And that is the Hula Burger.
Is it really?
Correct. Real
I think I
basic
would have been
stuff.
shocked. I would have been shocked by any of them.
Mhm.
It's shocking.
It's very shocking.
It was
Shocking
real
to hear.
gross.
Well, Will, we are at the end of our third round here, which means that we just have one round left. To review the points, we've got BJ in the lead. We've got Jake right in the middle and Jamie bringing up the rear here, but it is anybody's game because as we've seen before, anything can happen in the bonus lightning round. During the bonus lightning round, I, Misinformation, don't give out any points. Will actually gives out no points at all. All the points come from the chat. Chat, if you want to give somebody a point for the bonus round, put their name in the chat and I will take it down on my roster to see who is going to take home the master's degree from UMB University. Let's bring up those bonus round, lightning round questions here.
Bang.
All right? That sounds right. Let's do this. What is this? Jake, what is this?
Oh, that's a new, which is, sort of like a horse, but much worse.
Got it. Jamie, what is this?
This is the Himalayan capybara. You can see it kind of has that round rodent shape with horns.
Yep. And BJ, what is this?
This is a Nicorak. It's actually a descendant of the yak. Yak.
Will, what is this actually?
It's called a saiga antelope.
A saiga antelope. That's a really majestic animal. Folks, don't forget to throw your bonus points in the chat. I'll be taking them down. Let's go to the next question here. Where is this? Where is this? Jake, let's go to you first. Where is this?
That is notably in the French catacombs, but it was stolen from Thailand, and they want it back.
Jamie, where is this?
This is from a super racist and inappropriate level in Assassin's Creed.
Oh, BJ, where is this?
This is actually below the Upper East Side in New York. You can find anything in New York.
New York, kid. It is the Basilica Cistern in Istanbul, Turkey.
Istanbul, Turkey. Thank you. Next question. Oh boy, the chat is lighting up. Let's keep this going. Who is this, Jake?
Oh, that's Avatar 1, the first Avatar from introduced in the Legend of Korra.
Jamie, who is this?
This is the only man that I can get off to during the pandemic.
BJ, who is this?
This is tennis champion Rafael Nadal.
Will, who is this actually?
It's Avatar 1. Just like Jake said.
Avatar 1. Thank you, Jake. Next one. Let's do this. What movie is this from? What movie is this from, Jake?
This movie is from the broad 1970s comedy My Mom's Legs Are Now My Arms.
Jamie, what movie is this from?
This is the CW's attempt at an R-rated reboot of Powerpuff Girls.
Wow. BJ, what movie is this from?
This is the salacious 1990s Jawbreaker, where they kill a woman with a jawbreaker.
Will, what movie is this actually?
Gotta give it to BJ. They shove a jawbreaker in her mouth and kill her.
BJ, wait, BJ, that's for real?
Yep, it was the first movie that I saw when I moved to Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada. I moved there day one and they showed me Jawbreaker.
Wow, BJ, that is impressive. That's an impressive experience and answer. Wow, okay, let's go to the next question. BJ getting some good points for that correct answer on this show. Jake, what is this?
This is a Welsh bug cake, which is only eaten on days of great tragedy.
Jamie, what is this?
This was the 70s answers to Aspic.
BJ, what is this?
You heard of black pudding? This is white and black pudding, bringing the cultures together.
Will, what is this actually?
This is a British treat called spotted dick sponge cake.
Spotted dick sponge cake, everybody. How did you not recognize that? Let's do one more, everybody. One more bonus round question. Jake, what is this?
This is Pumpo the pumpkin ghost, who eats your soul through those two pumpkin nipples right there.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously the pumpkin ghost. Jamie, what is this?
This is the Pokemon Creepio Stepdaddy.
Creepio Stepdaddy, the Pokemon. And BJ, what is this?
This is actually my peach from Yu-Gi-Oh! In the top, it's actually a bat. In the bottom, a peach that reads your inner darkest secrets.
Wow, kind of a little similar to Jake's answer there. Soul through the pumpkin nipples or knows your darkest secrets. What could it be? Will, what is this actually?
It's a Pokemon called Pumpkaboo.
Oh, Pokeghost is basically correct.
Pokeghost is basically correct, Jake. You were very close with that one. All right, folks, that's going to do it for our bonus round. We talked to Jamie. We talked to BJ. I'm going to announce the winner in just a moment. But before I do, Jake, is there anything that you would like to share with our audience today?
Oh, yeah, sure. So I have a podcast that's called Owl's Pals. You can catch it on Spotify. You can catch it on iTunes. You can catch it anywhere. Podcast stuff. It's a show with me and Lisa Oakley where we play two AI who are interviewing everyone on the face of the earth. So that's fun. Go check it out. And you can follow me on social media.
On social media. Thank you so much, Jake. Thank you, all three of you, for being here. Thank you, Will. Actually, as always, we have a winner. And I got to say, that bonus lightning round was a real nail biter because, folks, you all pulled ahead at one point or another. It really was back and forth. But in the end, what pulled one person ahead was BJ's correct Jawbreaker movie answer. BJ, you got so many bonus points for that. You are going to take home a master's degree from QMB University.
My parents will finally love me.
BJ, I'm so glad to hear it. You've got your master's, you've got the love of your parents. There's nothing you can't do in this world, BJ. Everybody, thank you so much for being here tonight. What an exciting game. This was really just a terrific Monday, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, BJ. Thank you, Will, actually, as always, for being here. Thank you, audience. Stay tuned for Poof, the Magical Game Show, starting at 8 p.m. right here on 2MB Studios, and we'll see you next time. Good night.
Bye.